Hey everybody, High Tech Hillbilly here. So today I want to show you the new Windows native version of Open Drone Map or WebODM. Basically, in the old version, you had to install Docker Desktop, which is a virtual machine environment, and that would run, it would spin up a Linux VM where the ODM platform was installed. And frankly, Docker Desktop, well, it sucks. It's awful. We always had problems with it. So having a native Windows installer, I want to give you developers for ODM, the ODM project, kudos and thank you for this. Now, I want to tell you about the bad stuff. So when I installed this first, it was giving me errors when I launched the application, and I had to go do some Windows updates. Now the log files were pretty helpful, well, fairly helpful. I managed to get past that step, but once I loaded some photos in and created a mapping job, that's when the trouble really began. It wouldn't process the photos. And in fact, if I just loaded a few photos, it would still error out and stop processing. And I couldn't figure out why. So I reached out to the forums, the WebODM forums, and the developers over there that are working on the project were really helpful at sourcing the problem. And it turned out to be a file, a bug in one of the files inside the installer package. And so they sent me a zip file containing a bunch of different files, and I took one of those files and replaced the bug-ridden file. And magically, boom, 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 there it goes. It worked. So thank you to the development team for helping source that. And this is the result. So as you can see up here, and over here, and even over here, and over here even, so the outer edge photos just didn't process properly at all. And so you have these edges over here where there's big holes in them that just don't look right. Now, I'm going to scroll back here. Now this is going to take a while to render because I have an older video card on here. But as you can see, it's populating and doing a pretty good job. I'm just going to zoom into the house here. Looky there. Here's going to show all the progress that we've made on the property since the latest Google Earth imagery. And there's a big difference. Come on now. It's like watching paint dry. So everybody, I'm going to pause this video and let it render, and then I'll come right back. If I can find it. Here we have the main part of the property here, where we have the new gardens, extra solar panels, all sorts of new goodies here. And the photo stitching has actually done a pretty good job of lining up with the barn and the Google photos. Now this is going to continue to render and repopulate. So I want to tell you all that if you all have this installed, or if you are going to install this, make sure you install it on an SSD and not a regular hard drive, because it cranks that hard drive like crazy. And here we have the surface model, the DEM, and I'm going to show you some problems with that. So here's the DIM as it's populating. This is the barn area here. This is the house area here. If you look at it, it's not really doing a good job of verifying the elevation. You can see the foliage and whatnot in some of these spots, but most of them are just, it looks like filler data that's not processing properly. And then if you look, you can see these little pits everywhere. I'm not sure what those are exactly, but they're everywhere on this DEM. Anyway, outside of that, it seems to work normally. Now, I didn't do any processing for 3D imagery, so I'm not even going to look at that right now. I'm not even going to try to show you that. But that's that. So if you look here, if you go back to the ortho photo and you click on the photos, it'll show you the path of the drone and the pictures that it took. Started over here and it ended over here. So overall, it's okay. I just hope that the 3D modeling is going to turn out pretty good. But for now, I'm only interested in the ortho photos and the surface models. The surface models are not impressive at all. I'm not really sure why it's doing all that. You see this whole section here. This whole sections of this digital elevation model that are not represented properly. So that's that. Once they get all the bugs sorted out of this version, I think it's going to be a formidable platform for doing drone mapping and that sort of stuff. But for now, there's some stuff that they need to work out. Anyway, this is High Tech Hillbilly out. Thank you for watching.